व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशो यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय श्री श्री निताय गौरचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 9, entitled The Passing Away of Bishmadev. Today we'll be discussing on text number 38. So the verse meter is little different. I'll try to recite. Shita Vishakahato Vishirnadamsha क्षतज परिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभम् अभिससार मदवधार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द। सितविशिखहतो विशीर्णदंश क्षतज परिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभम् अभिससार मदवधार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द। सितविशखहतो विशीर्णदंश क्षतज परिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभम् अभिससार मद्वधार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द शित्यभिषिक्तो विशीर्णदंश प्रसवमभिससारमद्वदार्थम् भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द शितविशिखतो विशीर्णदंश शतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसवमभिससारमद्वदार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द शितविशिखतो विशीर्णदंश शतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसवमभिससारमद्वदार्थम् स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द. Translation. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charna Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sita, sharp. Vishika, arrows. Hataha, wounded by. Vishirna, Vishirna Damsha, scattered shield. Kshataja, by wounds. Pariplutaha, smeared with blood. Atatayinaha, the great aggressor. Me, my. Prasabham, in an angry mood. Abhisasara, began to move on. Mat vadartham, for the pleasure of killing me. Saha, for the purpose of killing me. Saha, he. Bhavatu, may become. Me, my. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Gatihi, destination. Mukundaha, who awards salvation. Translation. May He, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, He charged me as if angry because of wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. Purport. The dealings of Lord Krishna and Bishmadev on the battlefield of Kurukshetra are interesting because the activities of Lord Shri Krishna appear to be partial to Arjun and at enmity with Bishmadev. But factually, all this was especially meant to show special favor to Bishmadev, a great devotee of Lord. The astounding feature of such dealing is that a devotee can please the Lord by playing the part of an enemy. The Lord, being absolute, can accept service from his pure devotees even in the garb of an enemy. The Supreme Lord cannot have any enemy, nor can a so-called enemy harm him because he is Ajita or unconquerable. But still, he takes pleasure when his pure devotee beats him like enemy or rebukes him from a superior position. Although no one can be superior to Lord, these are some of the transcendental reciprocatory dealings of a devotee with the Lord. And those who have no information of pure devotional service cannot penetrate into the mysteries of such dealings. Bhishmadev played the part of valiant warrior, and he purposely pierced the body of the Lord so that to the common eyes it appeared that Lord was wounded. But factually, all this was to bewilder the non-devotees. The all, the all spiritual body cannot be wounded, and a devotee cannot become the enemy of the Lord. Had it been so, Bishmadev would not have hesitated, would not have desired to have the very same Lord as ultimate destination of his life. Had Bishmadev been an enemy of the Lord, Lord Krishna could have annihilated him without even moving. There was no need to come before Bishmadev with the blood and wounds, but he did so because the warrior devotee wanted to see the transcendental beauty of the Lord decorated with the wounds created by a pure devotee. This is the way of exchanging transcendental rasa, or relations between the Lord and the servitor. By such dealing, both the Lord and the devotee become glorified in their respective positions. The Lord was so angry that Arjun checked him when he was moving towards Bhishmadev, but in spite of Arjuna's checking, he proceeded towards Bhishmadev as a lover goes to a lover, without caring for hindrances. Apparently, his determination was to kill Bhishmadev, but factually it was to please him as a great devotee of the Lord. The Lord is undoubtedly the deliverer of conditioned souls. The impersonalist desire salvation from him, and he always awards them according to their aspiration. But here Bhishmadev aspires to see the Lord in his personal feature. All pure devotees aspire for this. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्. Blessings of all Vaishnavas, so that I can speak something on this verse, especially today. The very desire of Bhishmadev, he wanted to see such feature. So that is the verse is there. So I'll try to speak something on this today for the pleasure of Lord and for my own purification. So especially today is I have not done much preparation, but I'll try to speak something. So especially Srila Prabhupada here is saying 3, 4, 5 points. First, Srila Prabhupada is saying astounding feature of such dealing is that devotee can please Lord by playing the part of an enemy also. So this is, we'll try to see one aspect. Then Prabhupada says, The Lord, being absolute, can accept service from his pure devotees even in the garb of an enemy. And then Prabhupada says these are some of the transcendental reciprocatory dealings of the devotees, Lord. And especially who can understand? Who have pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada says, and those who do not have no information, or those who don't have information about pure devotional service cannot penetrate into the mysteries of such dealings. And then question comes, then why did Bishmadev was acting so with so much eagerness to fight? So it was simply to give pleasure. And then why Krishna was coming in front? So that Srila Prabhupada explains that this is the way of exchanging rasa. So we'll try to see on this, and also today is Shiva Ratri. So I'll speak something on Lord Shiva also. So because I found many of the speakers have spoken, so I'm just following in their footsteps about Lord Shiva. So even Sanatan Goswami also explains in Hari Bhakti Vilas about the Lord Shiva's significance and Shivratri. Okay, so why does Krishna perform such pastimes? First is Krishna is a Rasaraj. So his name is a Rasaraj, that he likes to perform the rasas in different mellows. So we know there are basic 5 rasas. And apart from that, Krishna has many secondary rasas which he performs. And one of that which today is going to happen, that is the Virya ras. Yes. And generally, Krishna doesn't involve anyone in performing such rasas, because when Krishna wants to perform such rasas, there has to be voluntary expression of love. Isn't it? Krishna cannot just pull out someone from the crowd and just involve him. So he has to check for the qualification. So especially in this section, that Lord simply inspires the surrender. And that's how we see that so much voluntary that devotee doesn't hesitate to even act as an enemy. So I was hearing one lecture where it was said that for the entire lifetime, the Bhishma is going to be blamed by the outside people. And even the Pandavas and everyone. Yes. So, but still the devotee is ready to take that position for the pleasure of the Lord. So Krishna, first thing is like when Jiva wants to okay, so here it is said that just like a mother keeps a watch on the child, so similarly Krishna within the heart as a super soul keeps the watch on on us, and sometimes he gives signals, and by seeing the surrender, then accordingly he performs the exchanges. So as one becomes purer, then Krishna also performs the different rasas with him, the devotees. So especially in the Srila Prabhupada is saying that outside people, it is very difficult to understand them such pastimes. So it is like Srila Prabhupada gives simple example, like the person who doesn't have any, who has never seen the president outside of his office, or he has never seen him in the family or at home. So suppose one time he just goes and he directly gets an entry into the house and he is about to meet president, and he knocks and he sees inside the president has become of the country has become the horse, and the child, the grandson, is playing with him. And then what happens? Sometimes the child beats also, and the president falls here and there, and the person who doesn't know, he sometimes will get bewildered, how come the president is acting like this? So similarly, for the outside people who don't have the information about pure devotional service, they get bewildered by this. So that's why Srila Rupa Goswami especially will try to see, is it that anyone who is dealing with the Krishna is giving pleasure to Krishna? So that's why this definition given by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So Srila Rupa Goswami says that, this is first verse we know all. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavritam anukulena Krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttama. So Rupa Goswami says that it should be first anya abhilashita shunyam. There should not be any desire. Second, of what? It should be devoid of jnana and karma. And third verse, it is the which is relevant for us today is anukulena. That means it should be favorable. What does mean by favorable? There are two things. First thing, either it may be pleasing to Krishna, and second, acts perform for the pleasure of Krishna. Yes. So sometimes demons may kill Krishna, he may feel happy, but it is not performed with the intention of pleasing Krishna. So that's why this Anukula especially means acts done for the pleasure of Krishna. And especially today we'll try to see there are 4 categories of the people who are dealing with Krishna. First, they are favorable and they are absorbed also in pleasing Krishna. And who are these? These are the pure devotees of the Lord. So, and that is what called as Goloka atmosphere or Vrindavan atmosphere. First is that we know all the Gopas. So they are acting favorably also. So every act of theirs is to give pleasure to Krishna. So when they are bringing even the different foodstuffs, first they want to offer to Krishna. So they will come and they will say, Krishna, today mother has prepared rasgulla. And they will say, Krishna, for you there is samosa. Yes. So, sorry. So yeah, they will say many items. So the act of their their act is to give pleasure to Krishna. Yes. So even and at the same time they are very absorbed. How do we understand their absorption? As soon as there is a forest fire, they are not looking here and there. Their only call is for Krishna. Yes. So even Mother Yashoda, she is also very doing favorably. Every act is to please Krishna. Even like when the demons are coming, the Mother Yashoda is praying that may Lord Narayan protect my Krishna. Now Narayan is an expansion of Lord Krishna. So her act is for the pleasure and absorbed. She is always thinking, how can I please Krishna? So first is they are favorable and they are absorbed. That is the pure devotees. Second, the categories favorable, not favorable, but they are absorbed in Krishna. And who are these? Kamsa and Shishupal. So they are very much absorbed. Even Narad Muni is saying, what a absorption. Even I do not have such absorption. So their absorption is very powerful, but the acts are not favorable. So that's how, and we see also sometimes even outside people, the enemies or sometimes the atheists, they will be more absorbed in defeating how God doesn't exist than the devotees reading about the God. Sometimes they'll come with so many theories, yes, how that God doesn't exist. So their absorption is so much, but it is not favorable. Third thing, third category is not favorable and not absorbed. So this is who are completely ignorant of Lord. That is the materialist people. And what is the destination? They'll go to hell. Now the fourth category is the sadhaka level. What is that? Their activities are favorable, but absorption is not complete. So favorable, but not completely absorbed. So that is the sadhaka level, like me. So we'll try to see something on that how can we go from this fourth category to the first category of pure devotees, from being favorable and absorbed also. So as today's Bishmadev, he is praying that let my gati and my absorption be on such form where Lord is coming in with the complete, like he's saying it's a beautified, his body is completely become beautiful with the bloods, and the blood is being decorated with the dust also of the kind of his running. So he want to see such beautiful forms. So he's completely absorption on Krishna, and he was doing favorably also. So first thing, it is that when we are talking about absorption, it is more of involvement of mind. Yes. So mind has two natures. First is he identifies with something, and like second, he gets influenced by what he dwells on. So that is the nature of the mind. So he will first identify, and we'll see in the sadhaka or before in general condition state, the mind has always nature to get absorb something which is asat or which is not connected. Why? Because the purer the mind is, it will absorb, it will focus on always the pure things. So that's why we see that we talk about this prolonged exposure, or that is impression. So when there is prolonged exposure, then it becomes very easy to get absorbed, to focus our mind on the particular pure things. And that's why here it is said that Bhishmadev gave prolonged exposure to Krishna. And that's why on the bed of arrows also, he is offering the prayers. So his always focus was on Krishna, and that's why even at the bed of arrows, he was focusing on this. So that's why it is said there is a procedure called as SIM, SIM. What is that? That is surface impression management. So currently the surface impressions are very different. So we need to replace the bad impressions with the good impressions. Yes. So generally, like first impression we have when we come in devotional service is about prasad. So it goes very deeper. Yes. Yes. Because yeah, and it is common for everyone. Everyone appreciates. Yes, sometimes we may have to give intellectual classes to intellectual people. Yes, some philosophical classes to philosophy. But prasad, it is common for everyone. Same menu is there for everyone. Yes, so it starts with the impressions. So devotees first get some impressions. Yes. So when these are repetitive, when they come to festival, when they have very nice katha and kirtan, what happens? The repetitive impressions, replace the bad impressions. So repetitive good impression replace. So that's why first surface impression management is to give continuous spiritual impressions which can replace this, and then it becomes very easy to get absorbed. And Radhesham Prabhu, I was hearing Radhesham Prabhu was saying absorption begins by consciously doing something to please Krishna. So, like one time Radhesham Prabhu was saying that we were in some camp and we were coming by night. It became a 10 o'clock. And I saw one voice devotee. He was at the gate of temple. What he was doing, that he was removing all the, there was a one ditch and water was accumulated in that. And at night he was trying to clean the whole, this small ditch. And then Radhesham Prabhu got up, he said, what you are doing? He said, Prabhuji, I am, because it is so much water is accumulated here. But he said, who told you? He said, no, Prabhuji, I just thought tomorrow morning all devotees will be coming. So their feet and everything will get dirty. So I just thought to clean it. So Radhesham Prabhu was saying that this is an act of doing something to please devotees and Krishna. So then what will happen? Immediately absorption comes. Yes. So that's why we see that there was a lecture also of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, where Maharaj says that absorbing our mind by taking a responsibility. That means as soon as we take responsibility, there is so much absorption. And we can know that as soon as you begin something, then automatically you are forced to get absorbed. Like one time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was talking with Srila Prabhupada, and it was just casual talk was going on. And then in talking, Tamal Krishna Maharaj says that, what is this, Prabhupada? There is no preaching in China also. And Prabhupada says, oh, there is no preaching. So you should go to China. So he was not expecting Prabhupada will immediately reply. And now as soon as this kind of service comes, it becomes an anxiety to get absorbed. So as soon as, that's why the devotee takes some responsibility, by which what happens? This absorption comes. So three things which are required to increase our absorption. That is, first is preliminary qualification is that we should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha, because it is said hearing will lead to attachment to hearing. Initially there will not be any taste for hearing, but when you go on continuous, like we remember, like I hardly had any experience of hearing sitting for 1 hour. But we were taken to Utkarsha, where Radhesham Prabhu gives 8 hours, 7 hours of lectures. Now you are forced to hear, and after some time, as soon as it becomes very easy. Yes. So the Shravana leads to Varnadash. Now it becomes very easy. Camps means devotees are prepared that today 7-8 hours we are going to hear. So why? Because Shravana leads to this Varnadasha, attachment to hearing. And then this attachment to hearing leads to ecstasy while hearing. And that's what happened with the pure devotees. So you see some of the devotees are always, even some devotees I know, they will go and they'll be always in first row, sitting and hearing. So they're very ecstatic while hearing. Even I know that Radhesham Prabhu, Kannada Guru Prabhu was supposed to give class at NVCC. And Radhesham Prabhu had to start during this class only, Bhagavatam class, for travel. And then what happened? So Prabhuji called one devotee, and that devotee kept mobile near the speaker. And Prabhuji heard whole class while going to station. And he messaged Prabhuji, Kannada, oh, very nice class. And Prabhuji said, Prabhuji was not there. No, I heard on the phone. And Prabhuji immediately replied, Prabhuji, it is very inspiring to see your such eagerness to hear. Prabhu says to hearing Bhagavatam class is sense gratification for me. So for him, sense gratification is to hear. So why it happened? It's a Shravan, then Varna Dashta, and then ecstasy while hearing. So one time Radhesham Prabhu was saying, I was in Vrindavan, and one place there was one sannyasi giving class, and one place one Srila Prabhupada was giving class. So then I was feeling, why didn't I have the two bodies and 2 ears? One go here and one go here. Yes. So this is the first, to get absorbed is start with hearing. Then slowly it will come to this Maranavastha. That is the ecstasy while hearing. Second qualification, second thing is keeping our lifestyle little austere. Why? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, the austerity for mind is that mana prasada saumyatvam. This is only maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhariti eta tapo manasa uchyate. So these are the austerities of the mind. Then when we make the mind little austere, that means live a life in a way that it doesn't agitate the minds. Like Srila Prabhupada also says in one of the purport I was hearing, Srila Prabhupada says, in the conditioned state, it is very difficult to get absorbed on the Krishna. Yes. So then Prabhupada says, keep lifestyle in a such a way that the mind and body are in favorable condition to get absorbed on Krishna. Because as soon as mind and body is disturbed, then it becomes very difficult to focus. So that's why this Krishna says, and you can read about this, I'll not go in details, this 6.4.49 and 50 purport, where Krishna talks about that how he empowers those who do tapasya. So third thing is mental absorption by proper cultivation. So we have these regulative principles we follow, then contemplation, which leads to absorption. So starting like the whole Srila Prabhupada started the morning walk. You can see the devotees, it became very famous activity later, that many of the devotees would join. And there what Prabhupada would do, Prabhupada would just say, okay, why the grass is green here and why the grass is yellow here? And devotees would give different answer. And Prabhupada said that because it is not connected to the roots, the sand. So similarly, when soul become disconnected from Krishna, he gets dried up like this. So Prabhupada would give different. So seeing the Shastra Chakshu. And some of the devotees memorize shloka and the Vaishnava songs. So this also increase. So three things about increasing the absorption is, first is preliminary qualification of hearing, second is austere way of life, and third thing is the proper cultivation by following the rules and regulations. So we see actually, especially the devotees, pure devotees, they are so much absorbed in pleasing Krishna that when there are difficulties, they do not even find there is, we can say, there is something unfavorable is happening, or their act doesn't turn into unfavorable things. Because in this world, it is seen, as soon as the little difficult situation comes, people start thinking, should I continue or not? Yes. But pure devotee never gets such thoughts. How? That this is very beautiful pastimes of Madhavendra Puri. Now this summer is coming, Chandan festival. So in that, it is said that generally when the difficulties come, the people like to speak about the difficulties they overcome. So you especially hear, like I know I would hear from my grandmother. So she would tell so many things how they came out from the difficult situations. Everyone likes to, if you ask someone, hey क्या नहीं, प्रभु आप इतना है क्या नहीं, इतने दूर से आए, बारिश था, हाँ प्रभु जी उधर बारिश था, बाद में थोड़ा ट्रैफिक भी लगा, लेकिन yes, especially people like to speak about difficulties. Why? Because that makes. But when Madhavendra Puri, he came bringing the chandan, he says, this is very famous, that Bahu Parishrama Chandana Remuna Anila Anande Badila Mane Dukkhana Ganila. So it is said with the great trouble and after very much labor, Madhavendra Puri brought the load of sandalwood to the Remuna. However, he was still very pleased. He discounted all the difficulties. He never counted the difficulties. Oh, here there was difficulties and this is. So that is what the pure devotees. And second example is Vritrasur. He was so much absorbed in Krishna that he was not, it is said, he was not recognizing whether his head was getting cut or not. So that was the absorption. And how devotees are always giving pleasure to Krishna is the highest degree of is the gopis. When Narad Muni goes to different devotees that, oh, Krishna is having headache and the only solution is the dust from your feet. And when he goes to gopis, they said they start immediately removing. Rather, they are start scrubbing their feet just to collect. And Narad Muni say, you don't know what is the reaction for this. You may have to go to hell. And they say, we are ready to go to even hell if Krishna gets 1 minute of the free from this headache. So that is what the example of devotees are. And Srila Prabhupada also has shown from his example that what is this example of giving always pleasure to Krishna. So here the Bishmadev is ready to take the blame and his absorption is continuously on Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada also never uh, gave up pleasing Krishna. In all the situations, he was giving pleasure. And his absorption was so much, sometimes devotee got the experience. One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting and he started crying. He was in ecstasy. And then Brahmanand Prabhu heard that he came to know, he saw that. And one devotee went and said, Prabhupada, what happened? He said, no, just Krishna had come, so I was just talking with him. So that is what the degrees of ecstasy Srila Prabhupada was having. And especially today, the one of the example is same in the same line is Lord Shiva. So he has taken another task where people also may understand him very wrongly. That how come he is wearing all the skulls and he's putting all ashes from the crematorium. So he has taken very thankless task of delivering this ghost and such category of the souls. So we'll try to discuss about that how even Lord Shiva is so much absorbed that he is always eager to hear about Krishna. Yes. So especially when Sanatan Goswami had come to this Chakleshwar Mahadev, so that place, Sanatan Goswami is so much disturbed with the mosquitoes. And he said, tomorrow I am going, I am not continuing here. And that time Lord Shiva assured, please, I will make sure that there is no mosquitoes. So he informed the in charge of demigods of the mosquitoes. He said, please vacate by tomorrow. Yes. He said, okay, done. Then that's how he continued. Why? Because Lord Shiva was missing the association of great souls like Sanatan Goswami. So we see from the example of Lord Shiva also. And today Shivratri, I read, it is the day where I think Lord Shiva marries Mother Parvati. And it is said first is Sevya Bhagwan is Krishna, Sevak Bhagwan is Balram. And there is Sevananda Bhagwan, who takes pleasure in serving, that is Lord Shiva. Yes. So he always liked to serve Krishna. So the verse comes that Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Puranam Idam Tata. So amongst the Vaishnavas, the Lord Shiva is the greatest. Yes. So outside people, they want to follow certain things. Yes. The worshippers of Lord Shiva actually, they takes only, not all, I am saying the categories who just want to indulge into the wrong activities and claim that we are followers. Yes, they will say, oh, Lord Shiva drunk the liquor, he is smoking. Yes. So our reply is that he has drunk the poison also. Yes. Yes. So that's why. So there is a different, Lord Shiva is a Shiva Tattva. There is a Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva. So Lord Shiva is the Shiva Tattva, which is different, not either in the Jiva Tattva and not as a Purna Vishnu Tattva. So that's why this, for clarification, Brahmaji says in Brahma Samhita, this very famous work, Shiram Yatha Dadi Vikara Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pritagasti Heto Yashambunam api tata samupayati karyat Govindamadi Purusham tamaham bhajami. So Lord Shiva is compared to the curd. Like Krishna is like a milk transformed into curd. Similarly, it is said the partial expansion of Shankarshan is Lord Shiva. Yes. So in Krishna Lila, he comes as Gopeshwar Mahadev. Then it is said in Ram Lila also he comes as Hanumanji and Chaitanya Lila Murari Gupta. So there is 5 types which Lord Shiva serves in Vrindavan. So he's called as Dhama Rakshak or Kshetrapal. Yes, in Kamyavan he is there as a Kameshwar Mahadev. In Nandagaon he is there as Nandishwar Mahadev. In Govardhan Hill he is Chakleshwar Mahadev. In Vrindavan he is Gopeshwar Mahadev. In Mathura is Bhuteshwar Mahadev. Yes. So also it is said, I'll just read out because many things I may not able to explain because time is less. So there are 4 personalities very much worshipable in the Vrindavan. First is topmost devotee Giriraj. Second is Yamuna Devi, Mother Yamuna, because she washes the lotus feet of the Lord. Third thing is the dust of Vrindavan, because it is compared to Chintamani. And fourth is Lord Shiva, who is a Kshetrapal. Yes. So even Sanatan Goswami also says that this is an important day where devotees can observe the different activities, because Lord Shiva is a pure devotee to get blessings from Lord Shiva. So there are 4 Babas in Vrindavan. So first is Giriraj Baba. So this is what devotees say, that because he is the Lord and devotee also. Second is Nanda Baba, who is the father of Krishna. Third is Bude Baba, that is Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is known as Bude Baba. And fourth is Sanatan Baba, that is Sanatan Goswami. So Lord Shiva is one of that. So one time what happened, Lord Shiva went to Krishna and he said, see, many of the devotees are worshipping you and I should also get some worship. And that time Lord Shiva comes with some petition. This pastime comes in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, I think. Brihad Bhagavatamrit. So then Krishna says, okay, I approve that, I give your sanction, your petition, you will be worshipped more than me. And that's how we see that there are many followers of Lord Shiva than Krishna. And that's how then Krishna says, okay, your glories will be, you will be more worshipped. And generally it is seen that most of those who become devotees in ISKCON, they had very great background of being the followers of Shiva. That is what generally observed. Yes, because Lord Shiva is happy to see that you go ahead and serve Krishna. And I know one devotee in Ujjain also, who was a strict follower of Lord Shiva. And then later he was diverted. He was saying that he was praying, Lord Shiva, please tell me to worship the Supreme, who is Supreme. And that's how he came in touch with devotee and he connected to Krishna. So Lord Shiva is a pure devotee. He is not he doesn't want himself get worshipped. Rather, he is happy to forward the devotees to Krishna, because he is the Supreme, the best among the devotees. So that is how the Lord Shiva's today is the day where we can observe. And there are many pastimes which know. One of the pastime is how Lord Shiva is so much ecstasy when he got the one just prasad of Lord Gauranga. Yes, which like one time he started shouting Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. And then Parvati came, he said, what happened? He said, I got Mahaprasad. He said, where is Mahaprasad? He said, no, Narad Muni had come, he was in ecstasy. I said, what is the reason? He said, I just ate Mahaprasad. And he said, but it got over. And he said, no, you must have not washed your hands properly. Just check, something will be there in nails. So something was stuck, one grain. And that grain he took out, Lord Shiva ate it. And he went into ecstasy. And then the Parvati wanted to have the Mahaprasad. But Lord Shiva was not having. And that's how she comes and also performs in Navadvip Dham, Simantadvip, that she is now performing to get the mercy of Lord Gauranga. So that is how the many of the glories today of Shivaratri is also there. So time is up, so we'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.